Ruben Amorim, this evening, Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said he's going to get 3 years. What do you make of that?
I think it's a good signal that they know it's not an easy situation and the transition may take times. It may take the actual acceptation to the frustration, not having all things sorted. There is a lot of elements that this manager will face that he will discover. We have to accept that. A lot of pressure is going to be put on him based on the position that he have. There is a lot of talks around his formation, a lot of talks about how he pick the players and sometimes put them in the wrong position. So it does not help. But I think the team foundation is better. It could frustrate a lot of people, that's for sure. But at the end, I think they have to show a bit of faith on the manager, and this is what the statement is doing.
OK, all right, you mentioned the formation there, so let's get into that. If you were in the dressing room and you had a manager who rigidly stuck to a formation and the team was losing pretty much all the time, what would you be thinking and what would your teammates be thinking?
I think there is a big issue of a balance there. So there is like players who left, players who arrived. There is a lot of elements where you know that the manager will come with a philosophy and be rigid about it, say, okay, this is the way I want to play, and you have to adapt. As a player, you have to adapt. There is elements where the manager can't affect you as much, even if they put you on the left or right or whatever. You're still a player. You have to find your space. You have to find the way to create chances. You have to find a way to defend, and you have to find a way to be motivated and approach the game as the manager wants. And I think this is what is missing, and this is where he's very disappointed as a manager. Sometimes he's just like find himself with players who tend to hide behind maybe sometimes certain type of excuses like the formation, like whatever hasn't played in the right position. But I see that there is element where they need to find solution regardless the actual problem that they face. And that's a problem that Man United have to really understand that. And this is where the almost spirit of the Busby's babe, it's always about this youth and innocence and courage. Obviously, they have to find this ability to express themselves and be certain that they are better than the opposition, and they have to impose a rhythm. And the formation can help, definitely give you half a second, sometimes more. But definitely, when you see that you concede goals early on in games, you're gonna lose them. And this is the type of thing that the manager is asking from his players. And regardless, the people focus on formation, and I can understand it's not the main issue.
Louis, one of the issues that Amorim says is that former players are getting, and criticism from former players, is getting into the heads of his current players. You're a former player. What do you make of that?
I think that's totally normal. The Manchester United squad will face criticism from left, right, and center, and they have to deal with it. That's the nature of their position. This club is huge, and it's probably one of the most followed clubs in the world. So if you sign for this club, you have to accept this, wherever it's coming from, a journalist, from former players, from anyone who doesn't even know football. You have to accept it, and this is where the thing need to be almost like a blockage about like the criticism, because you have to actually get the positive of it, and really show that you are focused on the right things, and the right things is to progress. Where sometimes we don't see after a few weeks that those guys have learned things, mistake that they have done before. That's very important to remind those players that the actual former players want, as fans, their success. They want them to be at the best, and obviously nobody knows everything. We have opinions. We may be wrong. We don't forget that we've been players and we made mistakes. But at some point, we know how it is inside. And I'm maybe less vocal than Gary Neville or Rio Ferdinand, because they've been there longer. But I'm telling you, it's painful, and I think every current player understand what we mean. Even if it's hard, they have to deal with it.
Louis, we've spoken a lot about Amorim being honest in his news conferences. He says things like, sometimes I hate my players. If you're in that dressing room, would you respect that, or would that make you feel terrible?
No, I totally respect that. I think it's very important to be honest. You have to expect consistency from the manager. If he expects you to be courageous and you feel like you're hiding, don't asking the ball when things get tough. This is about why those former players will enrage. I am thinking about Roy Keane. If you need the manager to motivate you or need manager to give you this half a second every time, that's not normal. You need to really find your own ways and be responsible for your success as well. This is the type of thing toughness need to be a bit recalibrate today, because yes, social media has an effect and we understand that, but the manager being very honest and asking me to be as courageous as I should be, because we're not going to war. Those guys are not going to war, and they have to respect that a lot of fans are coming to see them enjoy football, make them enjoy football. And some moments we feel that there is a bit of disconnections, and it's important.
Louis Saha, fabulous to speak to you. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.